Let me update the map for you. This is not about Latin America turning left. This is about Latin America being sorted. Good countries, bad countries, and countries currently being reminded who's in charge. Because Washington isn't guessing anymore. It's signaling. Let's start with Argentina. Argentina used to be difficult. Debt, populism, talk of autonomy. Then, Javier Milei shows up, cuts subsidies, aligns with Washington, votes the right way, says the quiet parts out loud, and suddenly, loans flow, praise flows, markets smile, message received. Argentina is the example, not of prosperity, but of obedience being rewarded. This is Washington saying, see, you can be loved. Now contrast that with Venezuela. Venezuela tried something unforgivable. It didn't just nationalize oil. It refused to come back in line. So Washington didn't debate. It enforced sanctions, isolation, asset seizures, including, and this part matters, a Venezuelan oil tanker seized on the high seas. That's not rhetoric. That's power saying, this is real. This is what happens when autonomy becomes precedent. And Washington isn't subtle about the lesson. Now here's where Latin America leans forward. Colombia, a longtime U.S. ally. Military cooperation, security partnerships, the good guy for decades. But Colombia elects a leftist president, starts talking about sovereignty, starts questioning the old script. And suddenly, the tone changes. Concerns, warnings, pressure. Nothing dramatic, just enough to say, don't get ideas. Latin America understands subtext very well. And then there's Cuba. Always Cuba. The control case? 60 years of sanctions to prove one thing. Defiance is forever punishable. Cuba isn't about policy. It's about memory. It's Washington saying, we never forget, and we never forgive autonomy. So when Latin America looks north, it doesn't see chaos. It sees structure. Argentina, reward. Venezuela, punishment. Colombia, warning. Cuba, reminder. This isn't confusion. This is choreography. And China doesn't have to sell an ideology into this environment. China just shows up with deals and contracts and says, no lectures, no punishment. Sign if you want. That alone changes the math. And it's a kind of math the US absolutely cannot stand. Because suddenly, the partner who's been taken for granted starts getting attention elsewhere, and America's standing there saying, wait, since when were you allowed to have options? So, is the US driving Latin America away? Or does Washington believe something else? That Latin America has nowhere to go. That it can experiment, but only within invisible fences. That autonomy is allowed until it spreads. Empires don't panic when people protest. They panic when examples multiply. Argentina is the reward. Venezuela is the warning. And the rest of the region is watching closely, not asking how to rebel, asking something much scarier. How far can we go before they stop us? And history suggests that question doesn't go away. It spreads. Thank you for tuning in to Global Stormroom, where we show you the patterns, the powerful hopes you won't notice. If this episode made you uncomfortable, good. That usually means it's accurate.